Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome, welcome. We have got a fun day for you ahead today. We're going to be doing some travel trivia. So hopefully everybody has got their keyboards and their fingers warmed up. We're going to have some fun with this today. And we're going to talk about some different travel stuff. And we're going to do the usual travel chat as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Cancun. I'm actually going to do a video about that this weekend. So do stay tuned for that. But really going to be some interesting changes coming up, stuff that you will be able to take advantage of. It's all kind of coming into play this summer. So if you are thinking of going to Cancun for next fall, game changer. This is going to be very different than what we've seen previously. So looking forward to that. So if you're just joining us, we are going to be doing trivia today. Let me know in the comments. I'll just post this here onto Facebook. All right, so let us know where you're watching from. We do have some prizes. Functionally, this is going to be a little bit tricky, so we'll see how we go. It's going to be totally random prizes with the travel trivia, but I do believe that I can make it work as long as if I got some family watching from South Africa, then that could be a little bit tricky. Might have to wait until you come out here for a visit for the prices. But welcome to Barbara from Chicago area. How is your weather down there? We were supposed to be in some kind of funky, another one of those, what do they call it? Something rain shower. It used to be the Pineapple Express, where you just get a bunch of rain. But actually, we're seeing unseasonally quite nice temperatures. We're about 13 degrees right now, which in Fahrenheit is about 55. But for Canada in the winter in January, that's pretty good. Vancouver, if you haven't watched my videos before or been, Vancouver is pretty temperate. It's the warmest place to live in Canada. At least on the West Coast, it certainly is. Barbara's saying no sun for 2 weeks. Temperature's 40. Okay, I prepped today with a handy dandy little translator. 4 degrees Celsius. Yeah. And Proc is following us here from Boston. Okay, Proc, I want to know what your weather is like there. Barbara's in Chicago. She says it's 40 degrees. So what are you at in Boston? You're kind of in that same area by the Great Lakes, East Coast. I'm going to guess you're somewhere in that 40 range, something like that. As I was saying here, we're about 55. So it's quite pleasant, actually. Almost back into shorts weather because we got the nickname Crazy Canucks for a reason. We tend to wear shorts year round. And out here in Vancouver, we actually can go out and play soccer and go bike riding and stuff like that year round. So it's quite nice, quite active out here. So we are going to have some fun with trivia today. It is either true or false or multiple choice. There's some fairly easy questions. There's some that are a little bit more challenging, but hopefully it's not going to be too hard. Okay. Oh, yikes. I just did the translation. Okay. Proc says it's 35, which if you don't know in Celsius, that's like not even 2 degrees. Oh, makes me cold just thinking about it. She says in her tank top. Hey, what can I say? I'm a sun girl. I want the beach and I want some sunshine. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this today. As I was saying earlier, for those of you who are just joining in, I do have a new video coming out this weekend about some crazy new stuff that is happening in Cancun. You all know about the Mayan train, and that is expected to now be fully operational by February is what they're saying. Hopefully, we'll see. Right now they've got I don't have a visual for you on this, but going up on the I guess it would be the east coast of the Cancun Peninsula, going. I guess it's that way, going up towards Merida. It starts down in Campeche, I think, and goes up all the way to Chichen Itza and Merida, and then back down to Cancun, and then goes down to Tulum and down to the Bacalar region, which, if you don't know, has some pretty breathtaking water features, lakes. They have bioluminescence pools down there. So all of this is going to make that whole area more accessible. The Cancun to Bacalar route, that is not currently running, but that will supposedly be up and running in February. And look, the Mexico government is on point these days in terms of getting things done, because the Tulum airport wasn't even supposed to be open until sometime this spring, and it's actually already had flights in December. So rock and roll. They are really pumping out some good stuff. And like I said, there's a few more things that I was surprised to hear about this week. And I'll actually be checking them out in April when I'm there. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure on the exact start dates of some of these things, but anyways, video coming for you this weekend. We'll explain more. Sorry to be cryptic, but hey, I gotta give you a little bit of mystery, right? Barbara's here, and oh yeah, Barbara from Chicago. There's a few Barbaras who follow the channel, so very common name. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this. And by the way, if you are enjoying the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. The likes do help out the channel. Just helps YouTube with its wild and crazy algorithm, helps people see what's going on and show them what's interesting perhaps to watch. So if you can help us out, that would be great. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So like I say, trivia is going to be either multiple choice or true or false. So it's pretty easy. Get ready with your keyboards so that you can answer down below. And like I said, we are going to give away some prizes today. So stay tuned for that. And oh, the Barbara that used to work at Apple. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so Barbara worked for, I want to say you worked for about 15 years at Apple Vacations. So she always has some interesting comments on my videos of different resorts and destinations and stuff like that. So I always enjoy hearing from you. So thank you for tuning in today. And let's go ahead and guess. Oh, 23 years. Wow. That's a trooper. Yeah, 23 years in the travel industry. And she lives to tell the stories still. Crazy. That's good for you, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. So question number 1. Which vacation destination? I'm going to go a little bit taller here. Which vacation destination is farther south? Cancun, Mexico? Cabo San Lucas, Mexico? Or Waikiki over in sunny Hawaii? Which vacation is further south? Let's hear your answers. And I'm sure everybody's typing away like madmen. Oops. Oh, lots of answers here. So Proc's saying B, Cabo San Lucas. Frenchie's just saying, hey. Barbara's saying Waikiki. Tammy's saying, hey, Tammy, how you doing? Tammy's saying Waikiki. Dean is sort of randomly, transparently saying Hawaii. Frenchie, yeah, B, Cabo. Okay. See if there's any more answers. We're just going to go through these fairly quickly because this is not too competitive or technical. And if you enjoy this, let me know, because I'm thinking that just at the first Wednesday of the month, we will do these and just have a bit of fun with it. Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Okay, so the answer, let's move on to that. Oh, there we go. Okay. The answer is actually Cancun. So for those of you who didn't know, okay, so in order. So Cabo San Lucas on a latitude longitude scale, Cabo is actually most north of those three destinations. It is at 22.9 degrees latitude. Waikiki comes in second on that scale. It is at 21.3 degrees latitude. Cancun is pretty close. Okay, so, if you guessed Hawaii or if you guessed Waikiki, you were pretty close. It's at 21.2 degrees latitude. And Puerto Vallarta wasn't even on there, but just for reference sake, so we've got Cabo on one, so we've got Cabo on one side, we've got Waikiki over here in the Pacific, and then we've got Cancun on the other side, and then Puerto Vallarta is actually a little bit lower than that, and that's at 20.7. But between Cabo, Cancun, and Waikiki, we're all talking a pretty similar range when it comes to north-south. So Frenchie's a little bit surprised by this. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying there, but yeah. So Cabo being the most north, Cancun out of the three of those being the most south. So if you answered A, you were correct. So give yourself a check mark for that one. Question number 2. This was in the news a lot in the last week. What is the current world's biggest cruise ship? Is it A, the Icon of the Seas, or B, the Wonder of the Seas? And of course, both of these are Royal Caribbean products. Royal Caribbean is the one that's got that beautiful walkway in the middle, it's almost like an indoor shopping mall where you can walk through, and there's shops, there's bars, there's restaurants. They do a parade. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so far we have a couple of guesses. We have Barbara chiming in with an A. Tammy is saying the Icon of the Seas. Frenchie's saying the Icon of the Seas. I think that you guys have all been paying attention to the news. Yeah, Proc is saying A as well, the Icon of the Seas. In fact, the answer is the Icon of the Seas. It is actually, you've probably seen those GIFs or just visual representations, and I don't have a copy of this because it's probably copyright, and we don't want the YouTube police to crack down on us. But if you looked at the Titanic, you've probably seen a picture of that in front of some of the cruise ships that have been out in the last 10, 15 years. And by comparison, the Titanic it almost looks like a little tugboat. It's tiny compared to these big ships. The Icon of the Seas is 5 times bigger than the Titanic. So that just gives you a bit of a scope of size. And I believe it carries a whopping just over 7,700 passengers. Obviously, that's at max capacity, and we're talking there where you'd have triple cabin occupancy, stuff like that. And realistically, that's probably not going to happen, but it's possible. That's a heck of a lot of people, and that's not even including the crew. So when you consider the average cruise ship's probably 3 or 4 to 1 in terms of the passenger ratio, there's a heck of a lot of people. I think about all the people who are running the engine, all the people who are in that kitchen cooking, all that big buckets of food for everybody to enjoy. Yeah, Barbara, I agree. Too big. That said, I'm going on massive cruise ship this September into the Canary Islands, and looking forward to that. Not looking forward to the size of the ship. It's a pretty big one, but we'll see. I'm apprehensive, but I will share the experience when I get back and let you know how it goes. Okay, number 3. This one should be fairly easy, but we'll see how you guys do. Number 3, what color is, oh, that didn't come out very well, did it? Okay, well, what color is the Mexican flag? A, and that would be this one here, white, red, and blue. Or is it B, green, white, and red? Or is it C, red, blue, and green? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Frenchie is saying B, green, white, and red. Tammy is saying B as well, green, white, and red. And come on, folks, no Googling. I know that there's a bit of time here, but let's just keep it honest. Proc is saying B. Barbara is saying C, red, blue, and green. Interesting. Always interesting when we've got a different answer out there. Okay, so the actual answer to this one is B. It is green, white, and red. Do we have a picture of that? We do. There you go. Green, white, and red. There is your answer. Oh, just guessing. Fair enough. Look, you have 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. That's why multiple choice is always good. True or false is even better. 50-50 chance of getting it right. Gotta love it. Okay, moving on. We are on number 4. What is the, okay, so Barbara, you got an edge on this one. Tammy, you got an edge on this one. What is the airport code for Cabo San Lucas? So if you are putting in the airport code to put in for flights to that specific destination, what is the code for Cabo San Lucas? Is it A, CSL? Is it B, SJD? Or is it C, LCM? Let's see, we've got a couple of quick guesses here. Barbara says B, Tammy says B, Frenchie says B. Frenchie says, been there before and was confused. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky one for sure. So the correct answer on, oh, and Proc says B as well. Okay, so the correct answer for number 4 is SJD. So B is the correct answer for number 4. CSL, you might think it's that one, Cabo San Lucas. I mean, duh, right? But it is SJD, and what that stands for is San Jose del Cabo, as Jose. So that's where that one comes from. And a lot of the around the world, basically everywhere but Canada, a lot of the airport codes are similar to the name of the city. So LAX for Los Angeles, LAS for Las Vegas, LHR, London Heathrow. I could go on. And then we have YVR for Vancouver, YYZ for Toronto. Yeah. And that's to do more with the radio transmission system that they used to, the radio communication that they used to use. Not ORD, ORD. Yeah, I know that one's kind of a weird one. Chicago O'Hare. What's the other airport in? Oh, Midway. And isn't that one just MID? I forget. I haven't flown. I have flown from there, but that was 2001 actually. So a lot's changed since then. But yeah, for not all of them, but for the most part, they do have Midway, MDW. Thank you. Yeah, for the most part, they do have some kind of linkage to the the name of the town or the city that you're flying into. So it keeps it easy, relatively easy. Although, of course, we've all heard the travel stories about flying into Sydney. And of course, there is a Sydney in the Maritimes in Canada versus flying into Sydney, Australia. Really good deals if you're flying from North America to Sydney in Canada versus Australia. But slightly different experience, I would say. Anyways, number 5, true or false? First true or false question of the day. Cabo San Lucas is no longer does daylight savings time, meaning to say that they operate on the same time throughout the whole year. They don't make any time changes like us, sadly, continue to do, where we will change in March to daylight savings time. And then hopefully that'll be the last time, unless we do have to switch again to standard time in the fall, but we will see on that one. Frenchie says true. Tammy says true. Barbara says true. And let's see what the answer is. Take that down. And the answer is true. Yes. They actually went October 22nd, October of 2022 is when they changed. And Proc got this one right as well. Yeah, they went October 2022, they switched over so that all of Mexico is on the same time zone, not the same time zone, but the same time year round. So they don't do a summertime switch, spring forward, blah, 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 all that kind of garbage. Cancun actually went year round in 2015, back in 2015. So that was a bit of a game changer, because at some points they were several, especially from the West Coast, the bars are closing in Cancun and it's like, hey, but it's like 7 o'clock in BC. So I still want to party and drink. But anyways, it's a lot similar time zones now. So that makes things a lot easier. Okay, moving on to number 6. What state is Puerto Vallarta in? Is it Quintana Roo? Is it Jalisco? Or is it Nayarit? Oh, and Frenchie's saying, I couldn't believe how beautiful the water and the arch was in Cabo. Yeah, 100%. It's a beautiful place to visit for sure. Okay, for this one, which state is Puerto Vallarta in? Frenchie is saying A. Barbara is saying B. Tammy is saying B, Jalisco. Proc is saying B, Jalisco as well. And the correct answer for this one is B, Jalisco. So Quintana Roo is the state on the East Coast. So that is where Cancun is located, Mayan Riviera, the Mayan train that we spoke about earlier. And Jalisco is where Puerto Vallarta is located. Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, inland, all of that area. And then if you move just directly north, you've got Nayarit, which that is where, if you've ever gone north to Bucerias, that's where that's located. Also Punta Mita, there's the New Dreams and Secrets Punta Mita located there. And Barbara's saying, yeah, it's the tequila capital. Yeah, for sure. She was just there in December. It's nice. I haven't been to Puerto Vallarta since last May. Had a lovely time there. Actually did the chocolate making class. I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but there's a chocolate making place called the Choco Museum. I keep threatening to do a video on this. I've got hours of footage. But it was actually a brilliant thing to do, activity, reasonably inexpensive. And if you've ever wondered how to make chocolate ganache and filled chocolates, we learned how to do that, and I have since made them at home. All of my friends hate me now because they are gaining weight and they're having to eat all these chocolates. But it's a lot of fun, and you learn how to temper chocolate and stuff like that. We've done also the mole cooking class there, and highly recommend it. It was really informative and interesting to do. So definitely check that out if you are heading to Puerto Vallarta in the Jalisco state, the state of Jalisco, the Chocolate Museum. Definitely check that one out. Okay, moving on, number 7. True or false? You're allowed to drink your own alcohol on international flights. Okay, not domestic, but on international flights, you're allowed to drink your own alcohol. True or false? Let's hear it, folks. Oh, Christine's joined us. Hello. How are you? Christine says false. Oh, boom. Here comes everybody else's answers. Okay. We have Tammy. She says, ha, no. Frenchie says false. And Barbara says false. And if you think, why, like, we can all read, why is she reading out what everybody is commenting on? I'm posting the comments, and I'm also verbalizing them because some people are watching this from Facebook, others are watching it from YouTube, and depending on which feed you're on, you may or may not see the comments. So hence me reposting them and commenting on them. Who do we get to? Yeah, Barbara said false, Frenchie said false, and Proc said false as well. You guys are all very smart and very well prepared for your international flights, because the answer is, of course, the answer is, of course, false. I was actually, where was I? I don't know. It was somewhere in Mexico. I'm going to guess I was flying either to Puerto Vallarta or Cancun. It was a longer flight. There was some young fellows, some young chaps who had decided that they wanted to take advantage of some of the duty-free sales. So leaving Vancouver Airport, they had invested in a nice size bottle of Grey Goose vodka. And as soon as we got to altitude, of course, the flight attendants, and by the way, you want to piss them off, call them what's the other word that everybody, stewardess. Yeah, no. Flight attendant is the job description that they prefer, and that they will actually answer to. At any rate, the flight attendant started serving food and drinks and snacks and stuff like that, and these chaps decided that they wanted to take advantage of the fact that they already had some alcohol on board. There was about 5 or 6 of them, and they got through about a quarter of the bottle, maybe a third of the bottle. And the flight attendant ended up walking by and happened to notice them. I was sort of back a couple of rows and over in my classic window seat, and she noticed that the bottle had been opened and was slightly empty, and she asked them about it, and they kind of were like, oh, well, we didn't know, whatever. And then she got the pilot to come back and speak to them, and kind of read them the riot act. The pilot basically said, look, this is going to go one of two ways. I can either take mercy on you, and I can give you a stern warning, and just know, don't ever do this again. Don't ever drink your own alcohol on a plane. Or I can do what is the rules, which is we can land this plane, and before anybody else gets off, you'll be escorted off by the local police, and you will end up in a Mexican jail for the foreseeable future. Suffice to say, the pilot took pity on them, and I don't even know if they drank alcohol in Cancun the rest of the week after that experience. But suffice it, yes, you do not want to drink your own alcohol on the plane. Okay, your mom was a flight attendant for TWA was it Transwestern Airlines? Gosh, back in the day, hey? Okay, moving on. Yeah, so there are some crazy routes, some airlines that will on occasion allow it. Usually they will allow you to they have to serve it to you or something. There's something specific in the FAA regulation that you have to abide by. But generally speaking, just don't do it. Just don't drink your own alcohol. It was funny. There's a travel agent that I knew years and years ago who was so proud of this Instagram post that she had done where she had a little, Ziploc baggie of all her little like minibar size alcohols, and she's like, oh my gosh, I could save so much money on international flight by just taking my own booze. And it's like, no, you're gonna go to jail. But nice idea. Trans World's airline. Yeah, there you go, learn something new every day. That means I'm done for the day, I guess. Okay, how's everybody doing on trivia? Are you mostly right so far? Most of you seem to be getting the right answers. So we'll see how we do. We'll keep going. Number 8, which is bigger, Stanley Park in Vancouver, Canada, or Central Park in New York City? Now, those of you who go on my community posts on a regular basis will have seen this post yesterday, travel trivia on the community post. So if you were on there, you'll already know for sure if you got the right answer. Barbara is saying A. Tammy is saying B. There's actually some really nice pictures. Again, I don't have a copy of these, of the snow that they got in New York City and showing all of Central Park and the big open area just covered in a blanket of snow. It's really, really pretty. Frenchie is saying A. Christine is saying A. Christine, I think you're pretty regular on the community posts, so got a leg up on that one. Proc is saying A, and Tammy is saying just guessing. They're both massive. Yes, this is very true. Very true. And like I always say, trivia, you're good to go because, right, 50-50 chance of getting it right. But the correct answer is A. Stanley Park in Vancouver, BC, British Columbia, Canada. If you are coming up here for the start of an Alaska cruise or a repositioning cruise down to San Diego, San Francisco, LA, take a tour through Stanley Park. It's absolutely beautiful. I forever say this. It is the largest natural rainforest in all of North America. It is larger than it's larger than Central Park, not huge amounts. Stanley Park is, 405 hectares or 1,001 acres, whereas Central Park is 340 hectares or 840 acres, depending on if you're doing metric or imperial. So basically 1,000 acres versus 840. So yeah, it's a pretty significant difference in size. But you watching movies and TV, I would have always guessed that it was Central Park, which is why it's something I've always had it in trivia, because I know it caught me out, so I figured it would catch other people out. Moving on to number 9. How many countries are part of the UK? So not how many countries are in that landmass, but how many countries are actually part of the UK? Is it A, 5, B, 4, or C, 3? We'll see if we have John or Pauline on here from the UK. We've got some guesses coming in. Frenchie is saying B. Barbara is saying B. Tammy is saying B. Oh, and I got rid of that. B, which one are we on? 8, 9. B was 4. And the correct answer is 4. So y'all got that one right. Proc got that one as well. And so the different countries in the UK are England, obviously, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. So those are the 4 countries that are in the UK. And then there's also the Republic of Ireland, which is not part of the UK. I was going to say it never has been, but I don't actually know that. And with all the back and forth of, I mean, honestly, like Mexico was part of Spain at one point. The whole US border, Mexico, Canada, that's all been in flux over the centuries. So yeah, but these 4 are the current ones that are part of the UK. Number 10. Okay, now if you were paying attention, I did briefly show you the Mexican flag. Which of these is not on a Mexican flag? Is it an eagle, A? Is it B, a snake? Or C, tequila? Curious what you will guess on this one. Actually, I think I wrote the answer wrong on this one. Oh, no, I did it right. Cool. Okay, answers are rolling in. We have Barbara says C. Frenchie says B. Let's see if there's any more answers. Here we come. Tammy says C. Can you just imagine a little shooter glass or a bottle of tequila? Oh, Frenchie meant C. Okay. Got a correction there. Proc is saying C. Look at you guys. You're so consistent. And that's good because you are consistently right. So it is C. So we do have the flag up here. And as you can see, there's an eagle on a cactus gripping a snake in its beak and talons. So yes, tequila is the only thing that is not included. Okay, now the next, we've got 5 more to go. So I'm having some fun with this. I don't know if you are or not. If you are, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, give the channel a little love. And the next 5 questions, the last 5 questions, have a food theme. You all know from watching my videos that all my travel experiences are linked to food. And so I always find these quite interesting. And these might be a little bit of curveballs for you, some of these. But we will see how you do. Okay, so question number 11, multiple choice. Which country has the most donut shops per capita? Is it A, Japan, B, USA, or C, Canada? Which country has the most donut shops per capita? And I'll give you a little hint here. We're not talking consumption. We're talking donut shops. Barbara is the first one to answer. She's saying C. Proc is saying C. Tammy's saying Japan. I'm going to guess that's a guess. Christine is saying C. Look at you guys. Okay, and the correct answer. Oh, and Frenchie. Oh, Frenchie's jumping on A as well. All right. Good to see we've got some mixed answers in here. Okay, and the correct answer is Canada, which might surprise you, but honestly, if you've been to Canada and you've seen Tim Hortons on every corner, it kind of explains it, because they're pretty much everywhere, and if they're not a separate standalone option, chances are they're part of a gas station. So yeah, overall, I believe overall donut consumption, America is like hands down, but donut shops per capita, Canada is number 1, Japan is number 2. So for all of you who guessed Japan, you're very, very close, very, very close. Tim Hortons is so good. And I don't know, did you say, Frenchie, where are you joining us from? Are you actually in Canada where you can enjoy Tim Hortons on a regular basis, or are you from somewhere in the US or somewhere else altogether? Let me know. I'm curious. Tammy, yeah, You're close. You're very close. It was a solid guess. I mean, if you'd asked me who was coming in as third, I would not have guessed, or who was second, I would not have guessed Japan. I wouldn't even have said they were in the top 5. Mochi donuts in Japan. Yeah. Is it match? Is that tea stuff? I think. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I mean, they've got some pretty cool foods. So I'm sure whatever they've got, I'm sure it is different and unique and wonderful compared to what we have. Although I do like me a Boston cream. That's my favorite. All right. Number 12. Next food-related travel question. True or false? Hawaiian pizza, ham and pineapple, was invented in Honolulu, Hawaii. True or false? Let's see what kind of answers we get on this one. Okay, Tammy's saying false. Barbara is saying false. Christina's saying false. I'm doing these in the wrong order. You guys are popping up too quick. Brock is saying false. Look at you guys go. I thought this was going to be difficult, but no. You guys are all right. It is false. In fact, Hawaiian pizza was first created in 1962 in Ontario by a fellow named Sam Panopoulos. And I've always wondered, and I haven't actually looked into this, but we have Panagopoulos pizza. So is that a derivative? Like, is that part of the same family? I don't know. And is that just in Canada, I think? I'm not sure. But yeah, Canada is tagged as having invented the first Hawaiian pizza. I did put on here because it's a bit of a arguable point, but apparently the California roll supposedly was created by one of the more famous sushi chefs here in Vancouver. If you Google it, that is one answer that will come up. You will also hear that there was a chef in LA who was trying to do something more vegetarian style, well, pescatarian, I guess, because there's crab meat in there. But they were trying to come up with a slightly different option, and that supposedly they came up with the California roll. So I don't know. As I said, I didn't put it in because there's a bit of controversy around that one. But yeah, we've got our share of fun Canadian foods up here, including that Hawaiian pizza. And what do you think? Pineapple on a pizza? I kind of like it. I gotta say, especially if I'm doing homemade, I would do a bit of jerk seasoning on the ham. Just a slight marinade in the jerk seasoning. So it's a spicy ham and pineapple. Tasty. Tasty. Barbara's saying no. Is that no to pineapple on a pizza? Oh, so sad. Christine's saying that's kind of how breakfast burritos are not native to Mexico. They were invented in the US. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, fast food's really literally only been here for about 100 years in North America. And I could see where, I mean, you have huevos rancheros and other stuff, but it's not so much like hand edible fast food, that kind of thing. Being part Italian, okay. But and the Sam Panopoulos, apparently he's Greek. So you've got a Greek fellow making Italian pizza with pineapples. Hey, anything goes, right? I mean, yeah, it's food. You gotta have fun with it. Play with the flavors. There was this thing last year going around that you were supposed to have, what was it, Oreo cookies with mustard on them, like yellow mustard, like Heinz or French's or whatever mustard, hot dog mustard. It was this weird TikTok thing that was a sensation, and I was okay, actually. It wasn't horrible, but Mentally, it was a bit of a challenge to get past it. Yeah, I know. And I did force my friends to eat it. It's so sad. Like, you wouldn't want to be my friend, right? The stuff I make you do. But they tried it, and it was, like I said, not offensive, but it wasn't great, that's for sure. Okay, number 13. What is the national dish of England? The official national dish of England. Is it A, fish and chips, B, yummy Yorkshire pudding, or is it C, chicken tikka masala? Let's hear your guesses. Barbara's saying B, Yorkshire pudding. Frenchie and Tammy are saying B, Yorkshire pudding. I do love Yorkshire pudding. Nice big one so that you can just sup all that gravy in there. Just lovely. Although I do really enjoy fish and chips as well. Nice chicken tikka masala. All of those are good. Christine's saying A, fish and chips. And Proc is saying B. So what is the answer? The answer is, boop, whoops, over here, chicken tikka masala. So it goes to show you, you wouldn't quite have guessed that England was. Look, England's not known for their food. Gordon Ramsay and Jamie Oliver and all them, they will, freely admit that. Although it's changing for sure, it's changing. But yeah, who would have guessed, right? Barbara surprised, Tammy surprised, Frenchie surprised. Yeah, got you all on that one. Oh, yeah. Great minds think alike, right, Tammy? Yeah, so there you go. I knew I'd have a stumper in there for you. So, okay, but I think the next two last ones are fairly simple. I suspect that both Tammy and Barbara will get these correct, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of you do. We'll see how they do. Number 14. Which of these beers are not? Which one of these beers is not from Mexico? So it's not multiple choice. It's multiple choice, but there is only one of these. So which one's not from Mexico? Is it A, Corona? Is it B, Red Stripe, C, Pacifico, or D, Victoria? Curious. Okay, Barbara says B, Tammy says B, Frenchie says B, Brock says B, and Christine says B. Wow. Thought I was going to trick you out, but no, you guys are all smart cookies out there. So Red Stripe it is. And our last question of the day. Again, Tammy, you should know this. In which country can you swim with wild pigs? Is it A, Bahamas, B, Jamaica, or C, in the Dominican Republic? Which country, where can you swim with wild pigs? Tammy's going to wait to answer. Thank you for that. Barbara says C, the Dominican Republic. Oh, we've got a mix on this one. Frenchie says A, the Bahamas. Kevin, hey, Kevin. Kevin's joined us. He's saying B, Jamaica. Barbara's saying could be any of them. This is probably true, actually. But we're talking wild pigs. So this is not a official tour. I mean, swim with the dolphins. Yeah, every country's adopted that now. But this is swimming with wild pigs. Proc is saying C, Dominican Republic. Kevin's saying A. Oh, change up. Kevin's saying A now. And Tammy's saying A, Bahamas. And, yes, the answer is A, the Bahamas. And I've actually done it. And why? I don't know. It was a fun tour, actually. And yeah. Proc's changing their answer to A as well. Fair enough. We can always have late changes. And I know that I accept that there is a delay on here. So it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so when I did that tour, I was actually staying at Sandals in Grand Exuma, and there was a James Bond Thunderball tour where you got to see the Thunderball Grotto. And I'm a huge James Bond fan. I mean, well, up until the last one, which was just stupid. But I think everybody agrees on that. So huge James Bond fan. The fact that we could do this speedboat Thunderball Grotto tour, and you got to see some of the different areas where they filmed, really fascinating. Then we went for lunch, and then the tour guys all gathered up all the leftover food, as one would for pigs, and we took a boat out to this island. Now, so the story goes that they moved some of the pigs to this island, and was it that they were trying to what's the word I want to say? They were trying to grow a bunch of pigs. No, they were trying to have more pigs available, and it was going to be to harvest them for food. And what they didn't realize is that the pigs were a little bit randy, and all of a sudden there was just a bucket of pigs on this island. There's a lot of people that go to this island as well. Oh, Kevin's saying there's a hog island in Thailand as well. Okay, I did not know that. Interesting. So I'm curious if it was the same thing where they tried to move these pigs to a special place where they could grow in numbers, and then it just became kind of out of control. Kind of like with dolphins, the dolphinariums that they have around all in Mexico and stuff like that. The biggest issue with them and why they keep having so many of them is that those dolphins, they're busy. When you're not around, when you're not watching, they are getting busy. And then that makes more dolphins. And so, what are you going to do? If they're, my opinion is if they're born in captivity, it would just be like unbelievably cruel to release them into the wild where they've got no natural instincts towards that. That's just my opinion. But anyway, what was interesting with this pig island in the Bahamas is that there was all these other boats that would come along, and the pigs weren't really anywhere. And the guys sort of were talking to me, and he says, "Oh, watch." And the boat engine was, they all make their own unique sounds. And the pigs recognize the sound of the engine. And he's like, "Watch, watch, watch." And we could just see out on the horizon, these pigs come running out of the trees, and they come running onto the beach and over to where they get into the water, and they swim up to the boat. And the guy starts feeding them and stuff like that. And they knew it was like, "Oh, I hear the boat. It's lunchtime." And so we were able to hop into the water and sort of swim with them. And by swimming with them, I mean, they were in the water and we were in the water. So arguably I could say I've swum with fish before as well. Was it an excursion? Not really. We were just all in the ocean together. But it was kind of cool. One of the pigs at the time was pregnant, so they did caution us to stay away from it because you just never know if it's feeling in any way endangered, it's going to lash out. So we pretty much gave that one a wide berth. So I don't know. Yeah, now I can say I've swum with the pigs. Woohoo! All right, so we do have some winners on here today. We have, I've gotten a little magic calculation. And the first winner of today, oh, and now these are going to be based on where you're located. I either have for you an Amazon gift card or a Starbucks gift card. I just have to figure out which country you're in so that I can figure out how to get this to you. So what I'll need you to do, I'm going to do this like Sam the Cooking Guy, one of my favorite channels on YouTube to watch. I'm going to give you my email address, and if you can reach out to me, I don't want you to post your personal information. So if you can email me with your contact info, then we can connect and I can send you your prize. So the first randomly chosen winner is, oh, I have to post it. First winner is Proc. Thank you for joining today, and you are a winner. And so I'm gonna get you to email me. Hopefully this doesn't give me buckets and buckets of spam, but it is in my YouTube contact information too. So if you want to email me and we can sort you out, yay. So put that back up. And the second winner is randomly Barbara from Applications. So congratulations, Proc and Barbara, you are our winners for today. And if you can, like I said, if you can email me to my, just send me your info to my email address. Barbara, I know you're in the US. Proc, I don't remember if you said where you are, but we'll figure that out. And Frenchie says, congrats. Yeah, so email me and we will get you sorted out with your prize. Proc is in Boston. Oh, okay, right. Yes. Okay, so we've got 2 American winners today. Congratulations. Congratulations, Barbara. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Hope you had a fun time today. And if you also want to get more content, remember too that we do have our channel memberships available. Christine Tizone is one of them. And we've got various different levels. You can get some member-only content, sneak previews of videos, as well as some member-only surveys and stuff like that. So try to have a little bit of fun with it and perhaps give you a little bit of, maybe behind the scenes stuff, as well as showing you the, insider information and giving you videos and stuff like that ahead of everybody else. So just trying to have some fun with it. But that is definitely an option for you. And Tammy says, thanks. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So like I said, let me know in the comments below if you think this is something that you want to see. I'm planning on doing the trivia the first Wednesday of every month. And of course, we are going live every Wednesday from 10 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to join in. We are at the end of January and we have consistently done it every Wednesday this month. So I'm just going to carry on with that. We are going to go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And of course, that'll be changing in March when we do the time change. And that's also noon Eastern or 5 p.m., 4 p.m. It's later in the day in England. I don't know. Yeah, so trying to do some fun with that. And then weekly videos coming out every weekend. So be sure to catch up and watch for those. This week, like I said, we've got a fun video coming out for you of some brand new information about Cancun, some exciting news that I'm really excited to share with you ahead of time. And then I'll, like I said, be there in April, checking out the new Hyatt Vivid Grand Island Resort. Christine, I think you're booked for there as well. And I think you actually arrived there before me. Curious if you upgraded to Vantage Club or if you just went with the basic room. I couldn't say no. So for not a lot more, I upgraded to Vantage Club. So I am curious to see what that's like, but I'm also going, I think you're going later in the year. So I'm going to suss out the bathroom situation. Christine and I, we share the same name, but we also share a mutual hate of open concept bathrooms. So I'm going to see what room categories may or may not have this, and I will report back. So lots of videos coming on that. And then next month, I'm heading off to sunny Cabo San Lucas and going to be checking that out. Barbara, where is it located? The Hyatt Vivid Grand Island. It's this kind of a weird name. I would say it's a stupid name, but whatever. It is going to be located in Cancun on the lagoon side this time. And it's about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way down the Cancun Peninsula, on the peninsula though. So right in that hotel zone and right across the street from Playa Delfines. And then, oh, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And then next month, I'm going to be heading to the Rio resorts. So we'll be comparing all three of those properties, the Rio Santa Fe, the Rio Palace, Cabo San Lucas, as well as the newer-ish Rio Palace, Baja California. Excited to check all three of these out and see what they're like. So thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the participation. Had a lot of fun with the trivia. And watch for my video this weekend. And if not, I'll see you next Wednesday when we go live again. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.